I think in spring ball, when you get to practice 6, 7, and 8, you find out what type of team you have. And I told the staff to find out what type of staff we had. And I think we made progress this week. You think about today, we're kind of at the halfway point. Scrimmage number 1, first time we've tackled. First time we've kind of managed the in-game situation piece as players. And I think it's really reflected what I've seen for the first 7. I think practice has been very competitive. That we've got a group of veteran players that are doing a good job kind of setting the tone and being a really good example. And then I see the young players, some of which were here last year and some of which just got here, continue to make progress. So, I do think that I've been pleased with what I see. I do think that the next 2 weeks are going to be critical. And I think that's the big takeaway with the players today walking off the field was we're halfway, and it's important that we have a great focus over the next 2 weeks. So critical 2 weeks to come. We've got to get really specific about the areas where we need to improve. We'll present plans to the players individually, the position groups, the units, and the entire team. We only get to get on the grass with the players so many times, right? Especially with pads on. So process, from a process standpoint, from a fundamental standpoint, right? I think each individual player is in a little bit different place. And part of coaching is getting someone from point A to point B. And even though we may have some veteran players, they're all still growing and developing. There's still things to learn, right? So at this point, we try to get really specific with each player. So we'll take tomorrow and Monday, and we'll basically evaluate each player individually and say, okay, hey, let's give this guy some direction over the next 2 weeks, narrow the focus, and then we back up. Each position coach will think about his group as a whole. And then the units, we'll get together offensively, defensively, the special teams group, and think about, okay, because most of your concepts are built at this point. You got probably 80% of the installations in. Now you get specific with fundamentals, special situations, maybe position flexibility, right? Moving guys around. We'll flip our 4 core special teams players. Guys that will play on all 4 phases, things of that nature. But yeah, no doubt. And look, when we get done April 13th, we walk off the grass out here after the orange and blue game, we'll build plans for OTAs, right? They take about 3 weeks off before we come back for summer school. And then we'll get specific. I meet with the players twice a year individually, once back in January, and then I'll meet with them before we start in the summertime.